Hello, everybody. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these randomly. I wanted to do it after MegaCon when I was feeling up to it and good. Still beat up from MegaCon. And I just want to kind of quickly go over some things. Had a few people come visit me. Some of them expressed concern. There's been talk about the fact that I've disappeared. And I just wanted to touch on some things and clear the air with some things. Um, let's get the obvious out of the situation. My lack of being online is not a punishment towards anyone. Me not being the advocate I once was is not a punishment to anyone. Um, I just, if I'm being honest, I've felt drained by the process of many things that have happened over the past few years. And I'm not angry at anyone. I'm not trying to punish anyone. I'm just for once trying to figure my way forward. And that's it. I know it'd be a better story to make it more complicated and to make it about things that it's not about. I'm sorry I can't be more interesting than that. But the truth is that there is no villain to this story in the background making me hide, or I'm not worried about anything. It's nothing to do with that. The truth is, a hurricane came through, and for the first time in years, I couldn't be online. It was just about 8 weeks until we got a signal strong enough to even start doing things. And something weird happened. Every time I try to do an advocating show, I try to put something together, I just didn't have the energy for it anymore. I didn't understand that. I still don't fully understand it, so I'm not going to waste time explaining it. Here's what I know about it. I'm not mad at anyone. I'm not hurt by anyone. I'm not hiding from anyone. I just took some time for myself. And recently someone said that I disappeared. I didn't disappear. I've always been reachable. Those who look for me find me all the time. I just haven't been putting myself out there as much. For the first time in a long time, I just wanted to spend some time trying to figure out the future. The truth is that a lot of the things that I feared would come to be have come to be. Artist alleys have gotten to the point where creators can no longer afford to be there. After talking to people from in MegaCon, I mean, I could make myself to the point where I had trades and I could use trades to leverage. I could make a sexy book, and I could, and I have nothing wrong because I mean, I could tell a sexualized story, and I might tell a sexualized story. I don't know. The problem is that I guess I'm just trying to figure out. I guess every creator deals with this at one point. You get to a point where you suddenly ask yourself, am I good enough? And I guess I've been dealing with a little bit of that. And it's not imposter syndrome because I've hit some impressive markers and I've done a lot. And I know when we even restarted the awards, I said we would do it as long as it got popular. And I remember doing a live video and being like, is anyone even paying attention to the awards? And no one really was. And that's why the awards didn't continue, because no one was paying attention to it. And I'm not mad at anyone. I think a lot of people are framing this as me being angry. It's nothing to do with anger. As a matter of fact, I've forgiven a lot of people and just let things go. And so there is no anger. There is no hatred. There is just me trying to figure out where I fit, if that makes sense. I spent a lot of time trying to help other people, and I just took some time recently in the past few months to try to help me and try to figure out where I fit, where I belong. Having been knocked off basically from September to October to even the beginning of November until we even had internet. Because even after we got power back, they were still fixing our internet for a few weeks after that. We lost power for 7 weeks. Didn't have stable internet for almost 12 weeks. Doing live videos became very problematic. And I just if I'm being honest, I don't have the energy for it anymore. Doesn't mean I'm not passionate about comics anymore. It doesn't mean I don't believe in what I create. I'm just honestly struggling for finding where I fit now. Um, Cons have gotten so expensive. Physically, the toll of Comic Cons, even Wednesday after this Comic Con, I am sick, I'm hurt, I'm injured, and it's a big price for me to pay. I'm truly happy for the experiences that I've had on this journey. I'll never stop being a creator. This isn't some sort of retirement speech. It's just a moment where I wonder where I fit in this world. And I'm giving myself the opportunity to take the time to figure that out for the first time. I'm just not forcing myself through something. And I'm living a lot more in the real world versus the virtual world. And I'm enjoying it. I'm actually in a place where I'm happier than I've ever been. So this idea that's out there that somehow I grew a beard to I don't know how it was put. Basically, was this a meltdown beard or did I just decide to grow a beard? The truth was someone on TikTok made a stupid comment. I started growing it and people started admiring it. I get a lot of compliments about the beard. It's really not that in depth. I started growing out my hair because my kid grew out his hair, and then suddenly I let my hair continue to grow even after he cut it. Like, a lot of people are putting a lot of emphasis in places there aren't really. I'm just in a place in life right now where I'm happy. I'm experiencing real world things, and I just don't know where I fit. And I'm trying to figure out where I fit, you know? So anyone who tells you that I'm angry at anyone, they don't know what they're talking about, and they're just making things up for conjecture. I'm not angry at anyone. This isn't a punishment. This is just me being human for once and prioritizing myself and just trying to figure out what the next steps are as we're fighting AI to be relevant. I could come back and be the advocate anytime I wanted to because all that's genuine. But for the first time, I've just spent some time worrying about me and what does my career look like in the future. And it's not that I don't want to help people because I still help people. There are people still come to me for help, and I'm always helping them. And it's not that I spent a lot of time in this frame, especially during 2020, to the point where it almost makes me feel nervous and anxious to be in it. I overdid it and I wasn't honest about it. And I used to say, like, during that time period, a lot of people don't know this, but I was suffering immensely physically, the physical toll, sitting in place, trying to do those shows, just drinking Advil like it was water. Because we weren't going to the gym and it was 2020. I was trying to make other people happy. I had to kind of rectify that over the last year and deal with a lot. So there's nothing like comics. And if anything, I've never felt more like a pro than I do now because comics have broken my heart. I have bled comics literally at times for pushing myself so hard and showing up. But I don't know the price I'm willing to pay to go forward in certain ways. I do know that here's what I know. I know that I write a story like few can. There's a reason that people are envious and jealous of me and always trying to tear me down, be like me, and try to steal my reputation for their own. But the whole time I've just been this insecure creator trying to do the best he could and trying to help people. And no one ever saw the truth behind that. The reason I'm not helping people right now in a public way with comic book advocates is because there's that certain amount of energy you have in life, and I spent it all on everyone else. And I feel like for the past few months, I've had to refill it in different ways that meant I had to take time away. And as I left, I saw things have changed. I just don't know where I fit. And that's okay. And I'm going to figure that out. I don't want anyone feeling bad for me. I don't want anyone being upset. Yes, I have a Kickstarter going right now. Someone said I didn't talk about it enough recently. You can find it at wolfandfox.com. It's in the comments. It's not what this video is about. I'm at a loss where I belong. And it's a personal thing. And it has nothing to do with anyone but myself. And I'm going to figure that out by myself. And I appreciate all my friends who, for some reason, think they have to be concerned. Understand, I was the advocate since my son was born for 8 years, just about. I put everyone ahead of myself. And for the last 6 months, I've decided to prioritize myself, to get healthier physically. For those who don't know, you can celebrate this with me. I've dropped 20 pounds and did it the right way. I've prioritized my own happiness, my own mental well-being, and I'm just trying to figure out the best way forward. How do I fit? What do I do? And how do I get to where I want to be? And where does that even mean anymore with the changing industry? I want to work for Marvel in DC. So I'm going to try to find my way there. I want to keep creating the things I create. Got to find a revenue stream to do that. Don't like doing Comic Cons anymore. At least not the ones that are fan expos. Certainly not the ones that charge you $30 a day. And it's not a knock on them. Because for me, especially, there's a physical toll being behind the table. I won't go into the full aspects of it. But I will be honest enough to say that there's the physical with my back, and then there's the emotional anxiety that I don't talk about nearly enough. And I should probably talk about more, but I'm always afraid people will judge me for being weak because that's what people do. And I'm getting strong enough to no longer care what people judge. That's why I'm sharing it with you. I just don't want to go into it heavily. The fact that this is over 10 minutes already bothers me. So I'm going to wrap this up. I just wanted to touch base for those who actually care. And I know that there are people who care out there who want to know what's going on. And if I haven't been vocal enough and you haven't reached out, anyone who has reached out, I have told that I'm just trying to figure out my place in the bigger world. And there are things that I have going on in my personal life that have been amazing and have been wonderful. And for those who have been reaching out, realize that I'm in a place that I've rarely been, and I'm just trying to figure out the future like many of you. So I hope this brings some clarity. Again, this isn't a punishment. It's not a reaction. For the first time, it's just about me. And that's okay. Every so often we have to prioritize ourselves, right? And that's what I've been doing this year. So I hope that you guys are doing well. I want you to know that I'm always just a message away. You're not alone, but for once, I had to remind myself that I wasn't alone, and I had to make some time to do things for myself. So that's what this last couple of months have been. Again, it's not a punishment. All the things that I'm doing have just been for myself for once, and I'm trying to figure out where I belong. And I hope you guys continue the journey with me. Understand I'm probably not going to be as open with things now. Some of that's just healing. Some of it's just I want my private life to be a little more private now. And I hope no one's offended by that. I'm tired of being the dancing monkey. I just want to be me from now on. You want to come for that journey? You're welcome to stay. But you're going to find a much more genuine, honest, laid-back version of me that thinks before he speaks and says what he means. I'll see you soon.